I'm here again. Who would have guessed it? 2 weeks in a row, I'm doing this shit. I decided I'm not going to do it every day because the last time I did it every day, it lasted for 2 months. And then I took one day off. And then that's pretty much all it takes for me to give up on something is to literally stop doing it one time. And then that's pretty much it forever. Because then I've given myself the out. Then I've told myself that I can stop doing something. And as soon as I tell myself that I can stop doing something or stop devoting myself to something, then that's pretty much it. That's a good enough excuse for me to pretty much stop doing anything that's useful for myself ever. I don't know, just an example. I was writing every single day for an hour for stand-up material for like 2 months, like for a while. And then literally one day I didn't fucking do it. And that's it. Like, I never really recovered for that. I'm still actively trying to recover from that till this day. Like, today I just had a 1 hour long writing session right before I sat down here. And, dude, it was rough. And even when I was doing it every day, not every session was great. But it's easier to go into a writing session after having a good session the day before, because then it's like shit. Then you have something to look forward to. Then you're excited about something, whether it's like a new bit that you're working on or you came up with some new tags and you're excited to work on them. And yeah, but when you don't write, then you don't get any new material that you're excited about. And then you kind of have to just like force yourself to sit down and write. And that's what I did today. This writing session fucking sucked, dude. I performed today. Did about 7 minutes, worked on some new material, and also did some of the older shit that already works consistently. Tough crowd tonight, honestly. Like, I haven't had a tough crowd in a while. Most of my shit works consistently, and it works pretty well. But had a pretty tough crowd tonight. Eventually, I'm going to start doing, like, set reviews and shit again. I'm just not there right now. I'm not willing to put the work in to like set up the video editing and get the video in here and shit. I'm not doing all that right now. I can barely sit down here and do the podcast. I'm not going to start editing video and shit. So yeah, had a rough set. No, the set wasn't rough. The set was okay. I worked on some new shit and it really wasn't bad. What was rough was the writing session that I just had now after the set. But I do prefer writing at night. I think there's something about like the room being cold and wearing pajamas when the moon's out and it's dark outside. Something about all of those conditions put together kind of like induces creativity for me. And maybe it doesn't induce creativity, like maybe it does, but like also maybe it just like something about it makes me want to create more than if the sun's out, like darkness. I feel like I want to create more in darkness than I do in light. Like even right now, like for this podcast right now, I turned all the lights off in the room and I have an LED light on, but other than that, dude, it's like it's fucking dark in here. I prefer it that way. I don't want to see things when I'm coming up with material. I don't want to see things when I'm creating. I want to be in my head. Like I want to be there's just so much potential for stuff to happen inside of your head. Your head goes to like crazy fucking places, dude. You dream. Like we dream. We have crazy dreams. Especially I do. Like you guys ever go to sleep? Well, obviously like you do that part, but like you wake up and then you go back to sleep and then wake up and go back and go back to sleep again. Like let's just say that you're sleeping in for a long period of time. Like you're having like a 10-hour sleep. You just keep waking up and going back to sleep. You've had more sleep than your body needs. You start to get some weird fucking dreams, dude. Like they start to get realistic. You can start lucid dreaming. You can start astral projecting and shit. Once you get your head into like that in between state of dream and your waking life, bro, you get there and some crazy shit happens. So yeah, like maybe darkness makes me feel like that's more of a possibility, like because I don't know, like that you can get some creative ideas in those dreamlike states. I've heard of artists and like not maybe Mozart, some other fucking people. Like I don't know names, but they would literally induce lucid sleep to help benefit their creative careers. And that's cool as fuck. I'm not there right now. I don't know if I could start fucking with my head enough to start doing that. But yeah. Yeah. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know. Rough writing session today. That's okay. Like today was like the first hour-long writing session that I've had in a minute. I needed to start doing it every day, if I'm being honest. That's really what I need to start doing. I have a Laughing Skull set in a few days, and I want to try some new material out there, and then hopefully the material will be good enough for me to post on some social media networks. And then fingers crossed, I know I spoke about it in my last episode, but I fucking pray to God that I have some self-control when it comes to posting content, and I hope it doesn't come down to just me refreshing the page 1,000 fucking times over and over again to see if my shit's getting views. That's just no way to live. It's just no way to live. Just a terrible fucking existence. Just refreshing the Instagram page and being like, oh my God, I got like 300 new likes, or I got like 5 new comments and 12 followers. Like, I think it's funny because like those numbers aren't massive or anything, but that's kind of like what like my most recent post has been getting, and even like those small numbers has been enough to completely fuck with my mental health. So yeah, I need to get better at that. But yeah, it's not about the numbers, dude. Like none of this shit's about the numbers. Like eventually it kind of is if I want it to be a career, but there's no career if there's no creativity when it comes to the shit that I'm trying to do. And when I look at numbers, it gets in the way of creativity. And fuck, the more I stay away from the numbers, the more capable I am of potentially being creative. So fuck those numbers, man. I need to get better at self-control. Like I'm so much distraction I live in. So much fucking distraction, dude. Like I wake up and there's Instagram and YouTube and the camera roll app and Gmail and just I can scroll on YouTube for hours. I can scroll on Instagram for hours, and there's just so much fucking distraction. It's like, how are you supposed to be creative when you're distracting yourself all day? I had to have a fucking pep talk with myself today. I had to go outside. I looked like a crazy person. I'll tell you what. I had to go outside, and I walked around my block back and forth for like 30 minutes. I was talking to myself out loud. Out loud, I was talking to myself. I didn't give a shit who was watching. I'm at the point in my life where I don't even give a shit anymore. Like, you can think I'm crazy. I'm comfortable, like, doing what I'm doing, knowing where I'm at as a person, enough for you to think that I'm crazy. I don't really give a shit if you... Like, a couple years ago, fine. Like, a couple years ago, you probably wouldn't catch me walking around the neighborhood talking to myself. But that's where we're at right now. So anyway, yeah, I walked around about half an hour talking to myself out loud, and I know a couple people saw me. That's fine. I had to give myself a pep talk because, like, I've been avoiding life. I've just been avoiding it hard. Like, you know, I want to live a life where I make conscious decisions and, like, do things with intent, and like actively try to do things in my life and get better at things and have new experiences and build relationships with people. And like, I want to actively pursue these things, and I want to live my life. I want to be present. I want to be here. I want to be awake. And then it's just like, you know, I say all these things, and then when it's time for me to actually put some work in, when it's time for me to actually have some action, it's like, oh man, like that YouTube app looks fucking delicious right now. I bet I'll fucking scroll YouTube for 2 hours, or just get on Instagram and just keep checking Instagram just as a way to avoid living my life. You know, I've been giving, like recently I've been given this crazy opportunity to go talk at a conference in Nashville. They're not flying me out to Nashville, but they're giving me a hotel for free, food for free, all of this shit for free for both me and my mother. And they're doing all of this so I can go speak at a conference and talk about an eye condition that I was born with. And I made a podcast. I don't know, like, who the fuck am I talking to? Like, you guys know this shit already. But I have, the Dancing Eyes podcast, and just a couple of weeks from now, I'm going up to Nashville so I can go talk about my podcast in front of like 200 people. And that's fucking crazy. Like, the fact that I'm living in the world where that, in a world where that's a real thing is fucking crazy to me. If you told me just like 3 years ago that American Nystagmus Network was gonna pay for me to come speak at the conference in front of their Patreons, however the fuck you say it, like, that would be a crazy thing for me, man. I've been wanting to go to an ANN conference for since I was like 16 years old. I've been wanting to go, and like the stars never aligned, it never happened. And the first time that I'm going to a conference, I'm fucking speaking at it because I made a podcast and they found my podcast and they sponsored that shit. That's fucking wild. And meanwhile, I'm dreading going. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not excited for it. I'm not excited for this because I know that I've been procrastinating on putting my speech together, and I don't want to fucking bomb. And I have an hour-long speech, and I don't want to bomb in front of 200 people or however many people it's going to be. It might be like 50, I don't know. And I'm not trying to bomb for an hour in front of all these people. And it's like, this is a tremendous experience, like a tremendous opportunity that's been gifted to me. Like, I'm so lucky to be able to do this, and I should be fucking ecstatic. I should be so excited. Like, I just went out to North Carolina. My uncle Michael flew me out to North Carolina so I can stay with his family for a day, and so he can buy me a suit for me to wear at this conference. And like, that, what a nice thing for someone to do. Like, what a cool fucking thing for somebody to do. And I'm so grateful for that. And like, the suit looks great. I'm really, but it's just like, and like the thing that he flew me out or to go get the suit for, it's like, I'm dreading that thing because I haven't been present enough in my life to be working on this speech. I've been avoiding it. I've been avoiding life. I've been distracting myself with bullshit nonsense, mostly on technology, to avoiding doing like meaningful shit with my life. Like, I should be excited for this, and like, I'm making a conscious effort right now. Like, I as I had this pep talk with myself today, I decided I'm making a conscious effort for me to start being more present in my life and start putting some focus and attention towards the decisions that I'm making, and like trying to avoid temptations and shit like that. And it's gonna be tough, man. Like, it's tough. Like, temptation is everywhere. It's so easy to just not do your job. It's so easy to just procrastinate and not do your work. And fuck, like, for me, for someone who, like, my career that I'm striving for isn't a creative career. I can't just sit on my ass and not create. I can't just distract myself from life, or else I'm not gonna obtain the career that I'm looking for, or else I'm not going to obtain the wife or children that I'm looking for. Or like, I want to have good relationships with people, man. I want to have like fulfilling relationships with people. I want to have a fulfilling career. And like, fuck, dude. Like, I need to stop distracting myself from the things that can make this a possibility. And the fact that, like I've done things, like I'm decent, right? Like, I'm not great, but I don't want to like rant on myself too much. Like, I did start the Dancing Eyes podcast, and it did turn into something, and it got an audience, and like the comedy is doing decent, like I'm getting better at it. But the truth is, like, I could have done a lot more with the podcast. I could have made the podcast a lot better than it was. I could be doing a lot more with the stand-up. If I really wanted to, I could be in New York right now. Like, that's the truth. I could be in New York right now. But I didn't put in enough energy into getting up there for me to be there right now. You know, like, I was supposed to be there in like September. I've pushed it back many times, and it's just like, fuck, dude, like, I'm ready to just start living my life. I'm tired of neglecting my life. I'm fucking over it. Which is, you know, like, I should be giving myself a pat on the back when I do things that are good, right? So I did perform today. That's good. I did write for an hour, even though the hour was fucking dreadful. And I don't think I really came up with anything. I did sit at the computer in front of the screen and try to write for an hour. I did come here and do this podcast for the second week in a row. And, like, you know, I should be giving props to myself. And I will. I'm literally right now. That's me giving myself a pat on the back, because I need to also do that when I do good things. Tomorrow is going to be another test. Every single day is going to be a fucking test. Tomorrow is going to be a test for me. Will I be able to stay focused? You know, will I be able to work on my speech? Will I be able to write for an hour on my stand-up? Will I be able to fucking do this shit that I have so many ideas, man. I have so many things I want to do. I got so many fucking ideas. It's not even funny. Like, the ideas are funny, you know, like the things that I want to do are funny, because that's what I'm going for. But I got all these fucking ideas, and it's like, what a waste. I don't want to waste my life. I don't want to, like, I have a lot of potential. I have a tremendous amount of potential, and I see it in myself, you know, and, like, what a shame it would be to just waste all of it. What a fucking shame that would be. Wasted potential is just so sad. And it's sad enough seeing it in other people. Fuck, I don't want to see wasted potential in myself. Like, how am I gonna live with myself if I've given up and I've just acknowledged that my whole life has been wasted because I can't get off of fucking Instagram? So, so it's been really hot outside. No, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that. I mean, I can go on and talk about other things, but I'm pretty comfortable kind of ending it there. I don't know if I need to go on and start talking about other shit. I'm cool. This is I'm gonna leave it there. All right, fuck it. The last podcast that I did, I took a picture of myself when I was like 16, and I was holding up like a horny Hillary thing that I found inside of Spencer's. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the picture for this podcast. I'll find something. I kind of want, dude, I fucking love that picture of myself. I think that picture is so fucking funny. That should just be like the cover of the podcast, I think. Like, I think that should just be, you know, for the new edition of the Skeptical Hippo podcast, or whatever the fuck this is going to be, you know? Like, I feel like that should just be the cover photo. And I'll just adjust the you know, title and add a new number, you know, to the series. Maybe that's what I'll do. I don't fucking know, dude. It's not that serious. I don't plan on anybody listening to this. If anybody has made it this far, this is going to hurt my ego pretty bad. If anybody's made it this far, like, put something in the comment section. What should I have you? Yo, if you made it this far, in the comment section, I want you to write puta lechuga, which is bitch lettuce in Spanish. That I have some material today that I was working on related to puta lechuga, and that's the only thing I could think of right now. This is gonna hurt when I look to the comment section and realize that nobody has made it this far. That's gonna suck. There's gonna be 0 comments on this video. I'll put puta lechuga. I'll be the first one to do it because I made it this far. So at least I'm here, right? I got myself. There might be a couple people who made it this. Nah, that's high hopes. All right. I'm gonna end this. If you made it this far, write the puta luchuga, and then I'll hug you next time I see you, because ain't no way that there's anybody there's no way that there's anybody who's made it this far who doesn't know me in person, right? So obviously, if you made it this far, I know your ass in person, and next time I see you, I will hug you if you write puta lechuga. All right, I'm just gonna end this. That's it. I'm done. I'm leaving. I'll be back next Friday.